What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be doing my resolution check-in, sort of monthly thing that I do to try and keep myself on track. I've made some steps in a couple of them this month, which is really good. Come to a couple of revelations on a couple of them, and yeah. So let's just get straight into this. Alright, so for those of you that know, every month I sort of check in with you guys on how I'm going with my resolutions, in the hope that it will encourage you guys to try and stick to the resolutions you made for yourself at New Year's. This month has sort of been another hit, I guess, to the old self-esteem in regards to some of these. And I've had some pretty massive things happen in the last month, which have sort of changed the general direction that some of the resolutions are heading. So let's jump in. The resolutions I made in order to sort of keep them able to be remembered in my mind relate to the 4-card layout for a tarot spread, which has the top one being relationships and romance. Then you've got, I believe it's career, health and happiness, finance. And so I sort of set my 4 major resolutions to their sort of themes. So for the first one, relationships and romance, despite trying to work towards a relationship with a girl that, you know, I really liked, it has since come out that she doesn't think that she's going to be able to like me as much as I like her, sort of thing. Basically what I got told, and therefore she feels like to continue going down that particular path, she feels like she'd just be leading me on. So that's a bit of a shame, but the resolution wasn't to get a relationship and have a relationship. It was to be open to relationships, and that one just didn't pan out. So I can either sit here and weep about it and just generally be miserable about the fact that this one relationship didn't pan out the way I wanted it to, or I can do what I'm going to do instead and just sort of, you know, shrug it off and move forward. Mainly because I've got much larger concerns at the moment with myself. So that's the romance side of it. Unrelated to actually, like completely unrelated to my actual resolutions, is I also had a friend this month basically turn around and publicly humiliate me, then defame me and like spread rumors and lies about me after I understandably got angry about the fact that they publicly humiliated me. And he has since decided that he's not going to contact me in any way. And so because of that, I sort of had my eyes open to some of the people that I had as friends on social media, and I've removed them all. So if you're watching this and you suddenly go and you were on my friends list and you go on and suddenly you're not there, well, I'm not there in your friends list, that's why. I don't need negativity this year. Told my best friends this year that I'm not dealing with anyone's bullshit. And so as soon as he started giving it, obviously I started out not handling it in the greatest way, but after I sort of took a step back, had a look at it, I was like, you know what? No, not doing it. And I just walked away from the situation. Completely cutting off all ties between myself and that person, which, unfortunately included some people that I was still on good terms with. But I'd rather have the tumour completely taken out than leave one cell there to fester and grow and cause more issues for me later on. Anyway, moving on. Career. I am making progress in this regard. I'm making progress. Obviously, my resolution completely fell flat on its face last month when the resolution was to try and get a promotion, and that opportunity now doesn't come up again till next month. But that doesn't mean that I can't try and do other things to help myself out in regards to other situations. Obviously, I've talked about it before on my channel, that I'm going through medical things at the moment. I've got a bit of a skull fracture here because of it, because I blacked out at one point and just face planted into the ground, fractured my skull. Originally, it was believed that the first episode of that happening, I've had two, they believe the first one was caused by sleep deprivation because I'd worked, I think it was like 8 full overnights in a row during a heat wave, so I wasn't able to sleep during the day, but then I had to be awake at night to work, and that I was basically just pushing myself too far. So in response to that, I'm now no longer doing the night shifts. Obviously, like I had my second one. Ironically, the day that I went in to talk to the store manager about the issue from the first one, had a second episode, which obviously started up a whole new round of visits to the doctor to find out what the hell is wrong with me. But as of yet, the general verdict that I'm sort of getting the vibe of is that it's potentially low blood pressure, because I have got a family history of it, so it's most likely that, and that sometimes when you faint, your body just has little spasms and convulsions, which can, to someone who doesn't know what a full fit looks like, look like I'm having a fit. And that they've got me on sort of anti-seizure epilepsy medication just in case it is also that, like as a layer of precaution sort of thing. But otherwise, I'm pretty much still fit and healthy. But yeah, so I'm no longer doing night shifts, and so in that regard, I'm also no longer just sort of stuck in the one position. I'm now able to flex muscles that haven't been flexed in a couple of months. Like literally yesterday, I had a shift in the cafe. I haven't been in the cafe in like 3 months. So I had to sort of relearn where everything was, and I wasn't, understandably, I wasn't as fast as I could have been. But I know that now that I'm able to flex that muscle and get it working again, that I will get there. I will be able to, be able to get better at it. Obviously, now moving on to health and happiness. This one, as I recall, had two. There was a health one and a happiness one. The health one was more related to getting fit, but now, understandably, it's about getting my actual diagnosis for whether I have epilepsy or low blood pressure or some other avenue that we haven't explored yet, to sort of find out what is causing my fainting spells. So yeah, I'm still trying to exercise as much as possible, but due to friends and family's worries regarding that health issue, they don't particularly want me walking around by myself, despite the fact that during the day when I'm not at work, they're all at work, and whether I have night shift or not, if I'm here during the day, they're not here either, so there's like a full 8 hours there where I'm not supervised. If something happened in that 8 hours, I wouldn't know, because the last time I lost track of time and didn't even think anything had happened, and yet I fractured my skull. Like, how do you fracture your skull and then not feel that? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a bit of a concern. But because of having epilepsy be a potential cause, I'm not allowed to drive anywhere, obviously. See, if it was something like low blood pressure, I'd be able to feel it coming on. I'd be able to pull over to the side of the road safely and like turn the car off so that I'm not going to have an accident. Whereas if it's epilepsy, it's just going to suddenly hit me and I could cause massive damage in a car at 100 kilometers an hour. So yeah, not being able to drive, I'm therefore not able to use my gym membership. And so it is now on a 3 months, like it's been frozen for 3 months. And then at the end of that, I'm able to use it again. I'm obviously going to continue pursuing that, to try and get myself into the shape that I want to be in, like get myself healthier. So yeah, that's a fun thing that I've got going on. Happiness is going, like the happiness resolution, forgot the word for a second, is going really well actually. So from memory, it's something like exploring like entertainment things and stuff, I think was the general idea. And so obviously, like, I've got uploading 3 times a week to YouTube. I'm trying to upload every day to Instagram. I'm now also looking at starting a podcast, which I think I spoke about on Monday. I'm writing a novel, which I also think I spoke about on Monday. Pretty much now I think about it, that Monday video is pretty much just the whole entirety of what's going on with the happiness one. But I've got a couple of projects going on at the moment that I'm really keen for, as well as uploading to all my socials and stuff, and following like photography and that, and trying to take that sort of professional and make that a career sort of thing eventually. So that's going really well. And then my last one, which is finances. Beginning of the month was when I had my second episode. It was the 2nd of March where I had my second episode. So in like the past, what's that, so like 20th, so in the past, is that nearly 3 weeks, I've had trips to Newcastle to see specialists about my skull fracture. I've had this test, that test, and all these other things that I've had to pay for, as well as services on my car and registration and stuff come up, and it's sort of like looking at, well, if I register it for this long, and sort of let my mum drive it, because she's got, she recently had shoulder surgery, so she can't really sort of shift gears and drive at the same time, sort of thing. Like, she can only really sort of use one hand. So having a automatic car like mine is easier for her. So we're looking at having it sort of insured for 3 months while we figure out if I can drive again sooner than July, end of July. And yeah, so finances isn't going great, because I've had to pay for medical expenses and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I'd rather fail on that resolution and still be alive than have all this money saved up and no life with which to spend it. Which, you know, I think's pretty good common sense there. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for today. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you really liked what you saw, you can hit the subscription button and the notification bell, so that you are notified whenever I upload a new video. I try to do that every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Sometimes it doesn't work out perfectly. Like last week, my internet screwed up one day, so I ended up uploading 2 videos on, I think it was like a Thursday, because there was just 3 days where the internet wouldn't let me upload. Or like there might be a day where my depression particularly kicks my ass. Like this morning I woke up at, it was like 8, probably about 8. I had my dad give me all the chores he wanted me to do today while I was at home, and then I proceeded to sleep in for a further 3.5 hours. So sometimes I just don't have the motivation in the morning to get up, and obviously doing all those other things sort of takes precedent over making a YouTube video, because I can always just do that the next day. But yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays when I try to upload. Let me know down in the comment section how you guys are going with your resolutions. Let me know what they are and how you're going with them. Let's start a little conversation down there in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, until next time, guys, I'll check you later.